Alrighty, you guys, I had another brainstorm. I have been pondering what to do. Many of you have probably seen the videos where I put saran wrap over a container of some sort and suspend cuttings above water. I don't want them actually in the water sometimes, but I want a lot of vapors and evaporation that's coming off of the water to stimulate new root growth, and so I'm wanting them above water, not in a soil tray for various reasons. Well, the sustainability of saran wrap is abysmal, and I don't like using it, but other methods like cutting holes in lids, which I've done a fair amount of as well. When you have a plant that's a certain size, you cut a hole for it, and then the next time you have a cutting, unless it's the exact same size, your hole is kind of worthless, and it's sad. And so I've just been thinking about what I could use instead of saran wrap, and I think I actually found a solution. I was pondering fabrics and different types of fabrics that I could potentially use. And what came to mind was cheesecloth. So I have just some organic cheesecloth. You can use any kind of cheesecloth. It doesn't have to be organic, but if it's not organic, please wash it first. They sometimes put some pretty awful chemicals on fabrics, and just don't want them rubbing off on your plants at all. So if it's not organic cheesecloth, wash it first. But if it is, you can just use it like that, and then just put a rubber band around it, just like we did with the saran wrap to suspend the cuttings. But the difference is, first off, this allows a lot more airflow, which is something that we always want. Trapping succulents cuttings in particular in a very, very humid environment can sometimes encourage mold to grow and rot to occur, which if we're suspending them over water, there's probably a good reason because the plant was severely dehydrated, etc. But it's not guaranteed per se. This is a great way to do just normal cuttings that haven't had anything wrong with them. Also, suspending over water is a great way to do it. And I'm really liking the sponge method that I've been doing. If you saw my videos on that, that's really great. I am liking it, but there are some cuttings and lithops and a few things that I really want suspended over water still, not down in. And so this is what I'm gonna do. Just put a rubber band around this like this, and these fibers here are very, very loose, and you can just pull gently on each side and then pull the opposite direction and make yourself a hole. You can make quite a large hole without ripping any of the fibers if you do it slow and gently enough. And the amazing thing is, then you can put them back, not in a way that will necessarily look as perfect and beautiful as it originally came, but in a way that's completely functional, so that next cutting, if it's a different size, it doesn't matter. You can totally just make a totally different opening. So I'm going to make a smaller opening here. And we'll pretend this is rubber banded on, and I can just slip my little Haworthia right into there. And it's working great. Well, now I don't want that anymore, so I just take it off, gently guide the fibers back, just doot. And then you're pretty much as good as new, you guys. And then I can do a smaller opening where I put a leaf. This way probably. These guys, because they're so long like a pea, they're just gonna fall right through, I think. But a different shape leaf would be great, even like this little tiny little lithops here. Perfect. And then when I remove them, can just move the fabric right back. And one of the reasons that I'm extra excited about this is the air circulation, like I just mentioned, because trapping the moisture in with the saran wrap, sometimes that's great. Sometimes you really need that much moisture if something's sadly dehydrated, but usually if it's that dehydrated, you're putting it into water to rehydrate. And so if it gets dirty, you can rinse it off. Cheesecloth is quite inexpensive, and because it's so thin and fine, and it's just made out of cotton, it actually composts fairly easily and is a great, fairly sustainable thing to use, especially since you can use it over and over, and it's cheap, and it just takes a small piece. And the fibers can be arranged. So I'm excited to be doing this. I have several things that I want to suspend right now, and so I'm gonna get this on a smaller container and get a few things going for now. You could totally use this for in-water propagation as well. If you had a longer stem and you just want this to hold the stem up so that they don't fall all in the vase. For example, if your cuttings are, you know, smaller around than the container that you have and you just don't want them all falling in, you would like them up, then you can still totally do this and have them hanging into the water. Like, that's completely doable. So there you go, guys. This is my idea of a different solution for the saran wrap, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I've just been unsatisfied with the saran wrap method, just because I hate using the plastic wrap every time, and then it gets tossed, and that's just no good. So I think that's it for today. I will talk to you guys very soon. I hope you're doing well, and happy growing.